All right. Welcome back to D&D. So, last time we played, you had arrived in Talva and had made plans to do a little bit of shopping before you actually went down below the university. So you did all the shopping, got some gear, made some contacts with people, got some questions answered. Then you actually went down into the temple itself and found a stone, uh, basically plate saying that there were a number of levels that were in the actual area below the Starwell, uh, and there was also a note that had been kind of etched in there as a little bit of graffiti saying why all the riddles. So
Why
you
indeed?
leave off there. So you currently find yourself in this open room with the kind of stone plate before you. There is a door leading further on. Uh, the door itself is large stone door. You've encountered stone doors like this before when interacting with Arwellan architecture.
Okay. I am not remembering the old stone door. It was that time the bakery.
Yeah, you had found something like that before, like underneath the actual bakery itself, when in Vaxfall.
Let's see. And then I think the other one was Island of Kosa. Any similarities between the doors?
Make an investigation check.
I will assist.
All right.
Did it again, but it didn't. Did it go again twice? I did.
Yes, I
Yeah,
see
I
it.
went through.
Okay.
Yeah, looking over the door, it is a large stone door. It does this one actually, in terms of the construction of the door itself, looks very similar to the other ones. Where the other ones, however, swung inwards, this one appears like it would actually sink into the ground once something has been triggered correctly. The
Um,
door itself has some etchings on it, what appears to be written language.
can Mr. Graham comprehend these
Yeah,
actions?
is it more old Arwan?
It is indeed, yep.
All right. Graham reads the thingy.
Reading the door, it appears to be a riddle. It
What?
says, your father is a dwarf and your mother is an orc. What are you?
A dork?
A jork?
The stone door, at hearing a dork, slides open. Just like the rumbling as it just like slowly descends into the ground.
Graham kind of chuckles to himself and should have been an archaeologist. Well, shall we?
Let's
Graham will.
go. I'll take point if you want.
Okay. Graham will keep his eyes on the swivel.
Okay.
Yep.
You enter into a large open hallway. The walls themselves kind of go upwards before forming like a peak. You can see like the stone architecture keeping everything together. The air is old and musty. Spider webs line this hall. Dust kind of covers everything. The rush of air to like flows in from the door opening, just like kind of sweeps away the dust and the webbing in this first area, and there's like, yeah, that kind of like heavy smell hits you. Um, Nothing overpowering, but definitely very noticeable.
Mm.
It is dark within this tunnel, and it stretches on at least a few hundred feet past your actual dark vision.
All right.
Okay. Uh, I'll keep point. I'll just look to the side. Anything, any etchings or anything on the walls?
Make a perception check.
Can I make one as well or assist?
Yes, you can.
There you go.
Okay. The walls themselves, as you brush some of the dust off, you do see that there are carvings along the wall. Once again, you're unable to read the language, but it looks similar to the writings that had been on the door itself.
Yep, I will look at Graham.
Graham reads? Question mark.
All right. Looking this over as you investigate, a lot of this appears to be just etchings of various history, and from what the overview shows, giving you just a breakdown of what all of it says, this looks like the Arwellan Empire had engaged in their own archaeological investigation of the Starwell and the Under area,
Hmm.
having investigated it from a previous older civilization. It also describes how they had gone on to then use the excavated area and the actual mana channels that had been carved in to create their own laboratory that indicates more about this area. There's additional information concerning setting up a lot of the additional architecture below in putting in their own works. A lot of it is mostly just details about supplies being brought in, the actual work being done, giving an idea of what was placed around, as well as information along the lab, having belonged to Zaf Feller as one of his several different labs set up under different cities. There appears to be more information, however, it looks like it has been obliterated just due to what you suspect to be more of the Arwellan scourging, or
Um,
the
could
scouring, I
I
mean.
could I attempt to cast mending on it, or is it not like a broken item, so it wouldn't restore the text?
You could attempt to cast mending. It would need the additional piece to actually mend it, but you could attempt to find that.
Okay, let's keep
Would
our
it be in
eyes
this
open.
area, I assume?
Yep.
Investigation?
Yeah, you can investigate around with the
I'll
investigation.
I'll help him.
Okay, then I will roll with advantage. Nice.
It takes you a little bit of time, but you are able to eventually find the broken pieces that have been broken off of the wall itself. Looks like this was probably done in a hurry, so the actual destruction was less thorough. But you do find a number of shattered pieces from what had been etched into the wall, and kind of like a small handful of these broken shards of stone. Casting mending, it's like a minute a piece, so it'll probably take about 10 minutes to put these all back together.
Okay.
Uh, Putting it back together, it's clear to see that the remaining part that had broken off discusses the far caster unit that had been installed at the very bottom of the laboratory, taking advantage of the main mana channels within the star well itself, as well as discussing the prototype of the Chaos Blade below.
Well then, Graham relays all this. This could be interesting.
Fancy.
Though, of course, odds are good they might have taken it with them if they tried to scourge this place.
Yeah.
What, the Telecaster?
Pick pardon?
No, no, he's asking taking what? The Telecaster or
Oh, the Chaos Blade prototype.
yeah.
Oh, that thing. Right.
Oh, that old thing.
I believe it had first been mentioned on the island of Kosa.
We don't go look for their fancy treasure. We'll never know where they left.
Yeah. I mean, being able to teleport around right now is probably our most beneficial thing to finding treasure.
That would be nice. Let's see what
Think
we
they
can see.
telecasted out of here with the cast blades?
I mean, I would like a Chaos Blade.
Just deuces up.
But
Archaeology.
Was it Was it Kaido or was it Lucian who was most excited about the Chaos Blade? I can't
I think
remember.
Kaido.
I think it was Kaido. He was like, because you said it was a long sword, and then he's just like, "Oh, not interested, if unless it talks to me or something like that."
Well,
The rest was infamy.
He's infamously infamous. You're right. So we got our info here. What else do we have here? I guess nothing else of interest. I guess we should keep going.
yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep an eye out for traps and all that.
Yep.
Okay. If you'd like to keep an eye out for traps, please make either a perception or investigation roll, depending
I
on
would
how you.
investigate.
Okay. Takes a little longer as you do a more thorough investigation. But looking over this area does appear to be devoid of traps, or at least what you discover as you go along is that some traps did exist at one point. You can see pressure plates, you can see small little string. The plates themselves have been depressed, the strings have broken. You see the remnants of what looks like small little needles that have shot out of holes in the wall. As you investigate, you do see that there doesn't appear to be anything that currently is active.
Real inviting.
Yep. Anyway.
Tally ho. Let us continue.
As you continue on, you find a number of skeletons, appear to be of humanoid shape.
Do their bones look like they were compromised by traps?
Make a medicine check. Yeah, looking over the skeletons, they do appear to have died via violence. A few of them do have marks that look like they have suffered blades. You do find a skeleton that has a number of the little needles that have just popped out of those holes and have kind of just embedded into the bone itself, or are found within the actual bone. Looks like they probably had caused whoever got struck by it to die and then was left behind.
Interesting that they didn't pick up their dead. Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
Yeah. I mean, they probably had to go.
All in all, there's about a dozen skeletons you find.
Damn. They look like they were already stripped of equipment.
They appear to be wearing some old gear. If you'd like to look further, you can make a perception check on them.
I can do this.
I will help you.
Then I will roll again. 20. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, looking over them, they have... The majority of the armor has rusted away. What little remains appears to be the kind that had been worn by Arwellan soldiers. Gear-wise, they have incredibly old and rusted swords and shields. You suspect that touching the swords or the shield would probably cause them to disintegrate in your hands, but you can make out there at least the fact that they exist, and exist as in a sword and shield form.
Okay, Graham will write down what we find as we go, like our discoveries, and write down our impressions, including all that. Just try to keep a log of everything we've encountered.
Graham has realized.
Yeah, this archaeologist might pay for that.
Graham realizes what the difference between archaeology and grave robbing is, whether you write it down or not.
I was going to make the Mythbusters the difference is writing it down joke myself.
You do recall that they had asked you not to remove anything.
Yeah.
And we're not. We're just documenting it.
Yeah.
Being all thorough and shit.
Biffle keeps his eyes open for anything to document.
About the pursuit of education, Graham just got a bag of gold.
I mean, to be fair, I want to do an
big sack has documentation written, clearly labeling a stopping condition.
Swift will take this only to the
Your
most.
notebook just says Biffle's book of documentation, not grave robbing.
Swift will be sure to take this to the most
That would be mine.
distinguished of
Pawn shops.
archaeologist pawn shops. Anyway, arriving at the end of the tunnel is another stone door. Hanging from a small hook on the door is a key, but the key itself looks to be made out of gold. It is almost a perfectly normal key, although you do notice that instead of like the little tines at the end, are actual teeth, sharp teeth you would suspect to be from some animal. Etched into the key itself, it says, "What am I called?"
Hmm.
What was that again?
Etched into the key, it says, "What am I called?"
And it's a gold key with teeth.
Can I tell what kind of teeth they are?
You could make a nature check. Yep. Looking over the teeth, you would suspect these to be from a variety of different animals. Looks like lion teeth and crocodile teeth. Um, they've been enchanted along with the key itself to not decay and rot over the years. You can tell that just from the nature check and just the general magical vibe from the key itself.
Lion and crocodile teeth
Hmm.
on a key.
Hmm.
Is there any symbology in the area that might give a hint toward this?
If you'd like, you can make an investigation roll to take a look.
Yeah, look around for like the door they're supposed to go into, if anything.
Anybody helping me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around, you don't see anything indicating anything related to the animals. You don't see any iconography related to lions, crocodiles, really any creature with sharp teeth. You do find kind of written in a corner, however, especially with that 24, it's a bit of dust covered, but you're able to just uncover a very small like etching in the wall that looks more like graffiti, and you can't quite understand what it says, but you're sure Graham could.
Yeah.
Graham. Professor
Graham
Graham.
Graham.
It's basically just, it says, for anyone stuck, this riddle is much like the first one.
Okay, so it's like dwarf and an orc was a dork. So teeth, tees.
As you
Crocodile.
say,
Teeth.
Keith, the key begins to like vibrate in your hand, and a small little keyhole on the stone door appears.
Well, all right.
All right, so this is this. So I feel like this isn't normal riddles here, guys.
Turn your dungeon into a fungeon. Graham writes down this answer as well and quietly anticipates a bunch of researchers and professionals groaning when they realize what they have to do to progress into the place, and continues on.
As you slide the key into the keyhole and unlock it, the door, the key disappears from your hand and reappears on the little metal hook, and the door slides open. Once again, you're struck with the kind of like musty air and the just like the kind of dry dust as it just kind of like fills this room. Inside, you do find another large hall that appears to be more of a dome shape rather than like the kind of like large hall that you initially had discovered. This one also appears to have some etchings written onto the wall itself.
Looks at Professor Graham.
You gotta get me some pince nez. And
Look,
yes, that is how he pronounces it.
I have no idea how it's pronounced. I've only seen written down.
Pince nez.
Ah, excuse me. On the walls themselves are more historical knowledge indicating that this is an investigation of the star well that had been formed by the early Elven Kingdom, and this is a more details indicate that there appeared to have been a larger presence by the kingdom here. They probably had a colony, is what is theorized on the actual walls themselves by the Arwellan archaeologists who investigated. There appears to be information indicating that the Starwell itself may have been formed by the Elven Kingdom. Probably. Ooh, my screen kind of flickered there. This would
Unacceptable screen.
that this would predate the Arwellan, the city of Arwell's foundation by, they suspect, maybe at least a good 1,000 years, probably longer.
He's old.
Which for you would put it about 3,000 years ago.
No spring chicken, tell you what.
But that's the information that has been just kind of placed into the cave, or not the cave, the onto this walls of this structure. Um, there is a lot that had been chipped away, and from your looking at it, it looks to be vastly more thorough than what was done in the previous hall, indicating maybe there was more time to actually scour this area, or whatever was written needed to be destroyed more thoroughly.
Okay, so we're starting to hit what was pay dirt.
So this is where they're going to want to use the magical equivalent of X-rays and things like that to find out what they scrubbed off the walls.
Probably. What the hell's an X-ray? Don't worry about it.
But beyond there is another stone door. It looks like these have been. This is possibly a sealing chamber, something to separate the larger area from the internal area underneath.
Anything of interest around here?
You can make an investigation check if you'd like.
Sure.
Right. Let's see here. Otto is able to find a number of small bits of pottery. The pottery itself isn't anything out of the ordinary. The pots themselves are very plain and have just been kind of placed in a, well, not a corner because it's a dome, but been placed aside from the main section. However, inside he does find a small tablet.
My iPad.
The tablet is clay. Looks like it had been etched into. This would actually, looking at the tablet, give me a history roll.
I can do that. Can I get assistance?
Sure.
This tablet looks worthless to me. You should throw it away.
You're right.
The tablet is definitely an older style of Arwellan literature, where they typically wouldn't have used clay anymore, having instead swapped over to vellum or even just paper itself. This looks like it was probably bought from the city of Arwell itself. and it just indicates early findings from the initial Viderheim colony, um, indicating what they discovered, um, giving a very brief history of Talva, describing it as being almost completely ordinary with the exception of the Starwell itself, describing it as a small fishing village that was more shunned for the simple fact that the Starwell had inspired a more superstitious aspect of the inhabitants of Viderheim, and that Talva was more of a creation of the actual Orwellan Empire itself rather than just putting a flag into the ground of pre-existing towns and building walls around them, as they had done with the city of Vaxfall or the other cities in the continent. Uh, it does mention that further tablets can be referenced to discover more information about their initial investigations.
Not nothing.
But besides the entrance to the actual dome itself, there's a second door on the complete opposite side.
I will
Check it out.
go. Yeah, let's go check out the door.
Yeah.
Check the ground, check the walls, check the thing around the door, check the door, etc.
Make an investigation roll, please.
I shall assist.
That's better.
All right. Looking it over, you don't notice any active traps. You do notice that within the center of the dome, there is a kind of pressure plate that had been depressed. You notice some kind of vents up on the ceiling that have a bit of a residue, which appears to be some sort of maybe poison that had like built up around it. No longer anything active considering the age. Looking at the door itself, it appears to be thicker and heavier than the previous doors you encountered. As you approach, though, a mouth on the door itself appears and begins speaking in a kind of the old Orwellan language that Graham can understand, using a very almost formal way of speaking. Thou art entering into the lab of Zaf Felor. Speak the password for entry.
Mhm. From our prior encounters with the wayward undead brain, do we know what that password might be?
Make a intelligence check, please, to try and remember. Or just a flat intelligence roll, I should say. Yeah,
Aha.
it doesn't matter.
Do you remember?
Honestly, you don't really think this is. He didn't really mention anything about passwords. You don't really suspect he was there enough to even really remember, even after adding in the agent that restored his sanity briefly.
Hmm.
Does thou not know the password as I do? Well, I shall not tell
can't
thee.
say. Graham will reply in Orwellan. I can't say as I do.
I shall not tell thee the password. Thee must discover it of their own accord.
Okay, how might I go about that then?
Uh, the mouth. You must. I don't know. But either way, I know the password and you don't. Until you tell me.
Sword and threatens the mouth with it. Give it up, see? Spill it.
Why am I thinking this thing from Baldur's Gate 3 with the mirror?
After speaking common to the mouth, it actually starts speaking common as well. Hey, don't threaten me, little man.
Why not?
I'm made of stone. What are you made out of? Meat?
It's meat, yeah.
Secret
Bag of meat?
Eat.
Meat. Disgusting. You know how long meat lasts for?
A while.
Not a long time. You know how long stone lasts for? A long time.
Oh yeah, well, piffle. Takes his dagger and starts kind of chipping away around
Hey,
the mouth.
Piffle.
What?
We're archaeologists today, remember?
Oh, right.
Sadly puts it away.
Back
Can Graham take another look around to look for any
Yeah,
other
I'll look
hints
around.
or signs?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation roll.
I will
Make
assist.
an investigation roll. And with assistance, you say.
All right.
23.
Looking around, they does not appear to find anything indicating what would need to be said or any clues to the fact. As you look around, the mouth just kind of taunts you. They're not going to write it down, ding dongs. You know who knows it? Me. And I ain't going to be telling you, and there's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise.
Would you please tell me?
Make a persuasion check.
Nice.
Oh, of course. Well, yes, I see in the case. Wait. No. You almost tricked me there. That was a good one. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no trick.
But either way, I'm not telling you the password, no matter how fun and exciting it would be to tell you.
How about
What could we do
yeah,
to
what
get
about a
you to
hint?
tell us?
What about a hint?
Or yeah.
A hint,
There's
huh?
a relief that you'll feel after you tell us the password.
I feel like this place likes riddles, so why don't you give us a riddle?
Make a persuasion roll.
Jesus, where is it? Can I get a halfling luck? Jesus.
Yeah.
That's better.
Hint. All right. Well, I guess it has been a while. All right. I was talking about how like stone lasts a long time.
Yes.
Well, like that.
Infinity, forever.
Eternity?
With the eternity, it's like, you
Hey.
got it. Damn it, that was too good a hint.
Hey, thank you. We're all having fun here.
I'm not.
Graham bringing the soccer dad energy to the expedition.
All right, you got it. Good luck. Congratulations, you bastards.
Thank you.
I hope you get killed in there.
Could we take him with us and he can be like Hank's friend?
This is like coming from the stone itself. This is like a magic mouth on the door itself.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm asking. Can we like extract you? And you can just come with us, and you can actually see the world instead of this place.
I'm a mouth man. What do you think? Are you just gonna put the world in me, or what are we doing here?
I don't know. Do we have an inanimate object that we can slap the mouth on, and he can just come around and just insult people for us?
That's not how it works.
I figured. I'm asking you.
Right off the wall, Otto. Come on.
It's just go.
Are you a paladin?
Everybody again.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a paladin to know a lot about magic.
I wouldn't expect you to actually be able to leave this place.
I'm a door, sort of.
Yeah, I know you're doing door things. That's just
I do door stuff.
Enjoy your door things for eternity.
Yeah, I'm gonna. And you know what? It doesn't matter because you're gonna die down there, and you don't even know what's down there.
Yeah,
What's
it's
down
cool.
there?
Oh, all sorts of things. I mean, wait a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, tell us. What's down there?
wouldn't it be more fun for you if we know what's down there and then you can just laugh at us when we die because we knew and we still died?
Make a persuasion roll.
Nice.
Man, I'm gonna level the. I don't actually know what's really down there. I just know it's dangerous.
Mm.
And there's more
That's
riddles.
fair.
I mean, there's also more riddles and shit.
Yeah, there's always more riddles.
That's fair. We'll see you
If
later.
I
though.
could make a labyrinth of riddles, I probably would.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll let you know. So for the next time people come down there, you can actually mock them and
Oh,
How's
there's gonna
that?
be more people. I love mocking people. It's hella fun. You ever
It
mock?
is, isn't
You ever
it?
mock people? I actually highly recommend it myself.
One of our guys that mocks people, he's in a drunken stupor right now, so he couldn't come.
Is that what mocking people leads to? Drunken stupors? Should I be nice to people from now on?
Then
Probably.
I mean, that's your choice.
All right. Well, look, I'm gonna level with you. So this is the riddle sector. It just gets worse from here, and I don't mean in like a riddly way. I mean like in the standard get stabbed in the face kind of way.
Okay. Anybody else?
Appreciate the warning.
Yeah, this is the part where you use your brain. The next part is you
Uh-oh.
use like other shit. That's not well. I mean, you guess you use your brain part of it, but not like 100% of it.
Brain and brawn.
Although I guess
What if we
depending on how
used
you,
100% of our brains?
I guess depending on how you want to verify or say that, like you probably could use your brain 100% of the way, but like I mean, I don't know if you're. I don't see a wizard among you, so I couldn't really.
There was a wizard amongst us. He didn't use his brain either.
Yeah, they're like that way.
Yeah, I
There
can't.
was a wizard, had
I
a
can't disagree
spell.
with you. Can't disagree with you.
Anyway, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm tired of talking to you. So get lost. Beat it, losers.
Have
The
fun.
mouth
Nice to meet you. Bye.
disappears from the door, and the door swings open.
Well,
I kind of
Archaeologist.
wanted to have like a little floating familiar there. They just like talk shit to you like the rest of the adventure. That would have been funny.
if you want to be negged, just go like hit up a club.
Go talk to Hank, right?
Ne- Hank, I need you to degrade me. Uh,
No, you see, that gives Hanks like a little bit of like in. He doesn't want to, but he will. The Hank with you would immediately insult you, even if you were nice to him. He's just that kind of Hank.
He's a
just that
Hankin.
kind of Hank, baby.
Hank got a Hank.
A
All
Hank's
right,
got to
let's-
do what a Hank's got to do.
Onward.
All right. Entering in to the next room, you see another stone door. To the left of the door, you see a large chain that kind of like disappears. There's a very small hole in the ceiling and on the ground that the chain runs through. The hole is barely big enough for the chain to actually enter into it.
Hmm.
Any scorch marks? Any interesting
Make it,
thing?
make it an investigation.
I will assist.
Okay.
Uh,
I think the 19's enough, but I could
Yeah.
re-roll it to have her look.
Looking through, you don't see anything indicative of a trap. The markings appear to be pretty normal. This room actually doesn't have anything indicating history, nothing carved into the wall itself. You do see what looks like there may be additional openings besides just the door itself. They would just be kind of like small little panels. However, from just looking around, not even a small creature would be able to fit into that, and they're not currently open.
Dang. I
Uh,
think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Steven.
Damn.
I love that meme.
There's a little cutoff. There's a small creature here.
No. There's basically Otto looking around saw some paneling. He sees like a section on the ceiling and a section on the upper wall. But they aren't open and they are very small to the point where not even like a small creature like Fiffle or Fern would be able to fit into these.
Okay. Want me to pull the chain?
If there's nothing else here that we've noticed, then yeah, give it a shot.
I'm going to pull the chain and prepare for absolute doom.
All right,
As the DM yanks our chain.
make an athletics roll to yank on this chain. All right, Otto, it is heavy. It definitely takes all your effort, and you're able to just start pulling it down. And as you do, the panel in the ceiling directly above you begins to slide open. You're have to really strain, but you're able to finally pull the chain down enough that the panel opens up, and you see descend from the ceiling a small orb, and it just slowly floats down and rests in the room about probably like 8 feet above your head.
Does it look like a disco ball?
Well, it is the shape of a disco ball. It is not paneled in the way of a disco ball. This orb is a dark blue, has what appears to be something kind of swirling inside of it. From just an outside observation, it looks like it's made of a thick glass.
Does does it does it make the room look any different or show something now that we've seen this? Is
Um, it
or are we
doesn't.
just waiting on it?
It doesn't appear to. Although Otto, you are currently at the chain,
Um,
and the chain is constantly trying to pull back into the ceiling as you have pulled it down.
I'm gonna pull the chain even more.
As you pull the chain more, give me another athletics check. As you pull the chain more, the panel on the ceiling slides open fully, and the orb descends entirely down. Now it is about 6 feet off the ground, well within touching distance of the majority of you.
Is the chain still pulling against me?
It is.
can we like tighten it down and
Can I
does it look
pull?
like
Can I
maybe the
put?
orb is designed to put light through it or something?
Can I?
If you'd like,
Yeah, can I pull the chain even more, or is it like did I get to like the maximum tension?
you've gotten to the maximum. You can feel whatever counterweight or magic is on the other side of the chain is pulling, um, and wishes to return to the neutral position.
Is there anything that the chain was meant to be tied to, so the orb just stays there?
You do not see anything.
Ay, ay, ay. And the orb looks the same. The room looks the same.
Mm-hmm. Did Graham just mention something about investigating the orb or looking at
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, I
something
wanted to
about
see if
maybe
maybe it's
light.
designed to put like a beam of light through it or something.
Yeah, go ahead. If you'd like to, you can make an investigation roll on the orb.
Yeah, I can't help you. Can I help him here?
No, you'd be about 10 feet away.
Somebody help him.
I can't.
Up and what? Look at an orb?
Uh, investigating the orb to see if maybe it's like what its function is, if it's got to like put a light beam through it or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll help you investigate the orb.
Okay, Fiffle, give me an investigation roll, please.
Or you could give me assistance possibly.
That's probably wiser.
All right, that's better.
Yeah.
Graham, yeah, the orb is magical in nature. Um, you believe that if you just kind of released just raw magic into it, through either a cantrip or some other spell, it probably would activate it.
Graham will attempt to cast thaumaturgy.
Okay. Graham, yeah, how do you thaumaturge into the actual orb itself?
Um,
Great thaumaturgy.
kind of puts his hand up before it. I almost made an FF14 reference, attuning to the ether, right? And tries to trigger a um like a brightening of a torch flame near it.
All right. As you begin to kind of pour the thaumaturgy cantrip into it, the orb lights up, and you see the panel that was on the wall begin to slide open. Now, this panel is about 10 feet off the ground, and it slides open. It Nothing comes from it. It From the ground where you're at looks like just a kind of dark tunnel down this like now open area.
If I let go of the chain, does the new open panel start to close, or does it just stay open?
Do you'd have
Just like
to,
lightly, like give it some slack.
as you release the chain, the orb that Graham is beginning to channel the magic into begins to descend back into the ceiling.
As soon as he stops, the panel closes.
Uh, does Graham continue channeling thaumaturgy into the orb itself?
Yeah.
Uh, as Graham continues, the orb had only floated up a little bit, like
Mm.
a foot away from Graham, so he would still be able to like maintain the cantrip on it. The panel on that he just opened up does not close.
Mm. Am I? Let me see.
That's something.
Can I see something in that in that opening?
This would be on the other side of the room from you. You're basically stuck holding this chain currently.
Uh,
You'd have to send somebody else to investigate it.
man.
I'll
Uh,
keep putting magic into the orb if somebody else wants to
I
look
climb
around.
up
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
wall.
mage hand it, but that's 30 feet away.
Yeah, the mage
That's
hand
pretty
would be
close.
outside of your
Yeah, and
area.
then, yeah, that's the problem. I assumed that was the issue.
Yeah.
I can go look in the panel.
Okay. Um, and you have a climb speed, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you're able to just kind of like get your claws in and just kind of like climb up the wall. Looking into the panel. Do you have dark vision?
No.
It is dark inside.
I thought she got something for dark vision, or maybe
No.
she's the only one. No, wait, the sword you got.
Oh, okay. Cool. Can I take out the sword while I'm holding onto the wall?
You'd be able to if it's one-handed.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
I was
Okay.
like, wait, we I thought we covered everybody with like some kind of ability to see.
Wallpaper you in dark vision.
As you take out the sword and light up, you can see that the panel opens up and the small tunnel is about yay big. It's really only slightly larger than your thumb, um, and goes down about 30 feet. And at the very end, you can clearly see a button.
Ah.
uh, okay. There's a tiny hole with a button at the end.
Uh, can someone come over here and put a little magic into this thing, and I can go mage hand the button?
The mage hand would be a little too big to get into this hole. This hole
Ah.
is like small on purpose.
Don't look at me.
Can I use an arrow and like stick it in there? Like I don't know.
Uh, it's 30 feet down. The arrow does
30
fit into
feet.
that hole with no issue whatsoever. Like the arrow can easily slide in. Um,
I'm gonna if Graham stops channeling magic, does the hole start to close?
uh, do you use Graham stop channeling magic?
Sure.
As you stop channeling the magic, the panel slides shut that Fern was looking down.
Okay. Graham will resume casting.
Okay. As you begin to put the cantrip back into the orb itself, the panel slides open and Fern is able to see the button once again.
How I was thinking something. Is the panel opening? What if you put more magic into the orb? Like, what if I channeled something? I don't know how far it is from me.
The orb is about 20 feet from you.
I don't have anything I can channel because I only have Eldritch Blast and Mage Hand.
Maybe you could like pet it with mage hand.
Yeah, what if I like channeled like my Mage Hand, like not to manifest it, but just the cantrip of it into the orb to see if it maybe gives the opening more space, or maybe more magic would open the opening toward the button, so you don't have to use an arrow.
All right. Would you like to cast Mage Hand?
Yeah.
All right. As you go to cast Mage Hand, you do need to release one hand from the actual chain itself to cast the spell.
Well, let's give this a shot. I will try to hold it.
Yep. Give me an athletics check at disadvantage as you were holding it with one single arm. Okay, that came in quite a few times.
That is quite interesting, actually.
Okay, well, we're gonna go with the 22.
Yeah.
So you're able to maintain like the chain. You could really just like are holding it down. You can cast Mage Hand. Mage Hand is going over to the orb.
Yeah.
As Mage Hand is going to the orb and you're channeling in, you don't notice any change to the actual panel. Like Fern, the button still remains 30 feet from you. Down just like this little shaft.
Hmm.
What? It's like, do you have any cantrip that can like depress the button?
I don't have any cantrips.
She's a
I still vote we throw rocks or shoot arrows at it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's all we
try
have.
to
Go for it.
shoot an arrow. That's
I'll
like,
just keep holding this chain.
Do we have like a 10? Well, it's a 30-foot long hole, right?
yeah.
Okay, so we can't like use a 10-foot pole.
Here, stick this little tennis ball on the end of an arrow.
All right. So what would you like to do?
Shoot it.
Shoot an arrow down the thing, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Fern, you're
Wait.
currently you've currently climbed the wall to and see down this. You have access to your bow. Um, if you give me an athletics to kind of just try and like perch yourself there, you can maintain climbing like your spot there while having your hands off the wall.
Hmm. Okay, let's try it.
Okay, well, you're easily able to do that. You can just kind of like wedge yourself into the corner, pushing your body against the wall with your feet on the other wall, and are able to get access to your arrow and your hands. The issue is you would need to put away your sword or drop the sword, which would deprive the light.
Could somebody else hold it?
It's like 10 feet up in the air is the problem. Uh,
You do have a couple members free still who are.
Aurora will climb the wall and hold it in her mouth.
All right then. Aurora climbs the wall and holds the sword in her mouth, giving you light. You're able to see the arrow, or the you're able to see past the arrow down the shaft, the little button.
Okay, I will try to shoot the button.
Okay, give me a. This is your longbow, so give me a longbow attack. All right, 22. The arrow shoots down the shaft. It doesn't touch the walls at all, and the arrowhead just strikes the button. Otto, you can immediately feel the chain, the tension pulling against it release. Graham, you can feel that the energy floating from the orb is now maintaining inside instead of needing a constant channeling effect. And Fern, the arrow that you shot down, you can feel a gust of air coming from it, and it begins to slowly push the arrow out until it eventually just leaves the hole and kind of falls back.
Okay, I'll take the arrow and put it back.
Nice.
The door then slides open, revealing the next room.
Okay.
Graham writes down our findings once more and continues.
We're clever.
Nice job.
Or something.
Teamwork makes the whatever work.
Aurora wants to be like that sword fighting dog
See,
that I've seen videos of now.
Oh God, the sword fighting dog.
there's no rule that says a dog can't be an adventurer. Air Bud, he's the prince, like scion of the throne.
Achieved by murdering the previous prince.
Crusader dogs too.
Hey, you could do that in CK2 if you did it right.
All right. Let's
All right.
go forward to our doom.
In the next room, you see, guess what? Another stone door, but in the center is a pedestal. Resting on this pedestal is a large stone. Carved into it, you can see the words, I weigh 50 pounds plus half my weight. How much do I weigh?
50 pounds plus half my weight.
That doesn't make any sense.
You weigh 50 pounds.
The room remains still.
Damn.
50 pounds plus half your weight, so you're 75 pounds.
The room remains still.
Still.
I feel like there's not enough
Look, I
information
went with the
to
common
answer this.
sense answer this time instead of overcomplicating it. I weigh 50 pounds.
100 pounds?
Upon saying 100 pounds, the orb, or I'm not sorry, the stone disappears and the door slides open.
Wow.
Aha! Very clever.
Algebra. Bruh.
As you enter the next room, this room is actually where the other rooms were just kind of barren stone with really nothing around. This room is actually nicely furnished. You can see a red carpet, uh, wooden furniture, very well crafted. Doesn't appear to have suffered any real wear from just time itself. Along the walls, you see a number of pictures and kind of illusion floating in the air. You can see another riddle. We are a pair. One falls and never breaks. One breaks and never falls. Of the 8 paintings, you see a key resting on a red pillow. You see a leaf floating gently on the surface of a pond. You see a boat that has been dragged onto the shore of a small little pond there. You see a cottage in a field with the sun rising behind it. You see a lock latched onto a chest. You see a tree standing by itself in a courtyard. You see a dock standing on the shore of a lake. And finally, the last picture is a tower watching over the valley as the sun sets.
I'm gonna do the one with the sun rising and the sun setting, because dawn breaks but never falls, and night falls but never breaks.
As Graham presses the 2 portraits, the door at the end slides open once again.
Woo! On a roll.
Hell yeah.
Call me Mint Jelly because I'm on the lam.
All right.
So far, so good. Graham writes it down.
Past this well-furnished room, you can see a... This is interesting because as you enter into this area, it is more open, and you can see it's a gap in between where you currently stand and a large stone structure. A large staircase of stone rises up to the entrance to the structure. A creature stands, like, kind of sits and rests right before the stone door as you, if you were to walk up the stairs.
Graham looks at the creature from afar.
The creature is an animal. It has a white mane, a body that is humanoid, wings coming from the back. It has graying fur, wrinkles. It looks older, and if you'd like, you can make a nature check.
Fuck is
I
that?
do that.
Make a nature check. Where is my nature?
Nature.
Nice.
Ah,
Nice.
I'm sorry, no, Otto, you're able to you've heard of creatures like this. This appears to be a sphinx.
Hmm.
Appears to be an older sphinx, however.
Fix is friendly.
Friend or foe? Is there anything else in the room beyond the Sphinx?
Just the stone structure. This little gap you're in between kind of just ends. You look to the left and the right, and it's basically just sand underneath you, and then just more stone walls kind of trapping around, leading only to this large stone structure with only the staircase leading to the Sphinx itself.
Okay. Graham will cautiously advance.
All right, I'm ready for riddle.
As you advance, the Sphinx notices your presence, kind of like creaks up slowly, like bringing himself to its full height. A large creature, about 15 feet tall. It spreads out its wings. You notice that the feathers have begun to kind of fall from it. The wrinkles on its face. It looks to you. Ah! I've been waiting here some time. I have a riddle that I don't think you'll ever solve, but if you can, you will be free to pass. Otherwise, I will be forced to devour you all.
All right.
I mean, I don't
This
like this
riddle.
devour thing.
Yeah, this is one of our more. This riddle was one that the Sphinx Society has just recently developed. It is our most impressive riddle yet. What walks on four legs in the morning, two in the afternoon, and three in the evening?
Is it man?
I think I've heard this one.
What?
Mhm.
You got it? That's the best riddle we had. This is bullshit.
Well, when did they come up with this one?
It has
Oh,
been a little while.
Yeah, it has.
how long have I been here?
Uh, well,
Probably a
this
few
place
thousand
is.
years.
If you were put in when this place was built, it's been like 3,000 years.
Oh, fuck. Damn it.
Relatable.
Shit, that was the best riddle we came up with, and you fucking solved it in 2 seconds. You know what? You can go. You can go to hell for all I care, for fucking solving that riddle so quick.
Hey,
It's a classic.
yeah.
You know, that's the way.
Graham attempts to reassure the Sphinx.
Man, I've been here. I don't even know how long, guarding this stupid door with that dumb riddle.
I mean, they probably paid you really well.
They didn't. They used magic to make me sit here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm an intern.
Can we somehow free you?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Is it warm out there?
Yeah, it's
Not at
nice.
the moment. It's pretty fucking cold.
Oh shit! I'm coming from a desert, man.
Well, there's some researchers that are going to be coming through here. Maybe they'll be able to help get you set up. I'm sure they'd be interested to talk to a contemporary of this place.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really learn much. All they.
Just make stuff up. They'll believe anything you have to say.
He's got a point.
Graham is
the
just like
man-
shaking his head behind them. They're like,
Just-
no, just lie.
Out of character, I've been watching Futurama. Okay, so just demand tenure for any information that you want to give them.
Professor Sphinx. Hell yeah.
I guess. I mean, because I was in the desert, and then like those Arwellan guys grabbed me and they made me sit here and tell riddles to get by.
So you're not a fan of them.
Nah, not really.
So anything you know, just tell these guys. They want to learn about the Orwellans, and if you spill their secrets, you indirectly just like stick it to them. You know.
Oh
Best
man, those
revenge is
guys
living well.
they suck. They're just terrible. They got their dumb little city, and they wanted to they sent out all their stupid soldiers to conquer whatever they could find, and they came here. And this place wasn't nice when I first got here. And you're telling me it's even colder now?
It is
It-
pretty chilly out.
It's winter
it's
out there. That's
winter.
why.
What the hell is winter?
It's
It's
like a
when it
season
rain-
of cold.
Just think about and then when it rains, instead of water, you get snow, and the snow sticks on the floor, and it makes it even colder.
What the fuck is snow? Are you bullshitting me?
You ever seen frozen water?
No. It freezes?
Yeah,
Well-
and you can walk on it.
It's pretty hardcore up there. To be honest,
Oh, this is God.
a lot more to eat and jobs. So I'm just saying.
This is out of character. Can we recruit him for the crossplay?
I feel bad for this guy.
You want to come live with us?
I mean, if I could leave, I would.
Well, maybe we can.
Maybe we can
Or
dispel
get
your
that dispelled
magic. I don't
for
know.
you.
You can do what you want.
You're hired.
If you would like, you could attempt to do an Arcana to see what's holding this Sphinx in place.
Anybody want to assist me? I think I might have the highest Arcana.
I've got an untrained +3.
Ready, train? No, I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
All right. This does appear to be a older style of magic that the Arwellan Empire has used to kind of bind the Sphinx to this location. It is similar, you would think, to one of those spells that kind of like traps people underground and like lets them live for a very long time. A variation of that. Far less it would last a lot less time than one of those. Although you would imagine the lifespan of the spell itself would probably still stretch a couple centuries. You suspect with a more powerful enough dispel, you could probably get rid of it.
I'm assuming like a basic dispel wouldn't have enough.
You, especially with that 25, you think if you could upcast it, it would probably be fine. This spell is of an older style, and
So it's a little outmoded, so to speak.
it's also
Graham?
lasted so long that by this point it is starting to fade.
Graham will cast Dispel Magic at level 4.
All right. The spell holding the Sphinx in place just kind of you don't see anything, but Graham, you can feel like this kind of magical aura that had been present here just kind of like fade, and
Popping sound.
yeah, it's like your ears kind of pop, and then the Sphinx is just like, ha ha, hey, all right, you guys are actually all right.
And no one deserves to get stuck down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Zepios.
I'm Graham.
Auto.
I am Fern.
Puts out a large paw.
Graham shakes.
Graham grabs one single like finger and just kind of like shakes. Is like, all right. Well,
Graham will fill him in on what's above them and the star wall and all that, and explain that they should probably go let the researchers know, hey, we found a Sphinx down there. Before you trot up there, they might freak out because there were some fatalities from prior digs.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Orwell's like trapped the hell out of this. They left a while ago. I mean, they don't give me like a calendar or anything, so I can't really like.
No, yeah, it's been a while. I can tell you that.
Well, that stinks.
Mm,
Do you think my like family's still around?
I don't know. How long do they usually live?
We live a couple hundred years.
Mm,
would I know this of the nature in the Arcana? Was he prolonged by the spell?
Graham would be able to determine that his aging was rapidly reduced, not completely reduced, as he has visibly aged. But yeah, he definitely has had his lifespan extended by magic, even if it has trapped him in like one single location.
that's rough, buddy. Well, we can make some inquiries, but it has been a real long time.
Make a history check.
I will make a history check. I'm good at those.
Yeah, Graham. You know that Arwell came to Viderheim and completely conquered it in 902. It's currently 2003, so a little more than 1,000 years ago.
And Graham will let him know.
Oh, damn. Aw. I don't even know how to begin to process this.
I'm sorry, buddy. Orwellans really are kind of dicks sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
Well, wait, does he know? So he would probably know this Zach.
That feller?
Oh, yeah, I saw him here or there. He had to, like, answer my riddles.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he didn't really answer the riddle so much as he just... I mean, he did, because he liked riddles, but you could have just said the password, too, to get by. That was the other one. Most of them just gave the password, and I let them by.
I don't suppose you're able to tell us the password now that you're no longer trapped?
Yeah, it's infinity. But it's only for me. Like, the other passwords weren't, from what I heard.
They were kind of mid.
Yeah. I think they get better as they went on, because, like, then you get to the good stuff. They had all sorts of stupid... They brought a Minotaur in. Did you know that?
Damn. Well, I do now. You think it's still alive down there?
Yeah, with what they did to it.
Oh my God! I did not sign up for a Minotaur, Graham. Actually, I did, but no.
I was gonna say it's kind of in our job description.
How do you keep?
I would like a re-envisioning of my job description.
Let's let's become the heroes of Viderheim, and then you can retire back to the bar with your wife. All right?
Well, I need to find my wife first, and nobody wants to go to hell.
Oh, I mean, they had like some infernal researchers down here.
Oh
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
I just like how our like off-topic thing just turned into serious.
yeah, they had like that was on a lower level though. You got to go by like they had like some weird stuff they're doing experiments. I'm sure you probably don't know too much about like, experimenting on people for like things like that, but they would do that down here.
That's just not very neighborly.
Oh my god.
But yeah, they apparently found some like device from the old like the I think they call it the Elven Kingdom or something. Like can extend a lifespan, and they implanted it into the Minotaur.
Ah.
God's sake.
Is he a reasonable sword, or is he kind of a raging berserker?
I didn't really like him that much,
Oh boy.
but that's
And
a standard Minotaur Sphinx kind of thing.
We got beef.
This life extender out of his brain.
But you know, like me, I slept most of the time. I don't know what he did down there. Like, I guess he probably had like 1,000 years to go crazy.
That's not good.
typically aren't they like crazy anyway? And they want to kill everybody.
They're not reasonable. They don't really like answering riddles so much.
Weird. I'm having fun.
I know.
Yeah.
And hey, think of it this way: you can figure out where the riddle technology is these days.
Yeah, I'm sure they got some good ones. Did you answer any riddles down that way?
Yeah, they were all weird, like portmanteaus. I don't know if you got that word. Like there was a key with teeth, and the password was Keith.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah, I can't believe they used that one again.
The Diet Coke of riddles.
Ay.
Yeah, they brought like all sorts of stuff down there. They did experiments. They had the Minotaur. I mean, I was a more late do I even call myself an install? They brought me in a little later. Like they'd kind of built at this place, so they had some other stuff down there. So I didn't see like a ton of it, but I know they were doing a lot of work.
Hmm.
And they had like wizards coming down who could move like stone to like excavate. And they had that one wizard who was creepy, and I didn't really like him that much. He was like
Oh, yeah?
he's like lanky and tall and kind of mean.
Who is that?
Hmm.
Hold on, what was his name? Craxon?
Does that ring a bell?
Is this the guy in the ziggurat?
Um, make a history check at advantage, Graham.
I will make a history check at advantage.
Oh wow,
Nice. Damn, we're getting a lot of 20s today.
Craxon was a wizard who, shortly after the Arwellan Empire left Viderheim, had attempted to conquer the continent himself. You remember that most pertinent to you was the fact that the first adventurers who then went on to form the Crossblades, they had defeated him. They had killed him, and because of that, they were able to get the plum deal that you now have, where you don't have to pay taxes.
Hooray!
So they were the original adventurers who got the charter to form the Crossblades, and had basically, let's see, this would have been in 1278, where they had killed Crexon and then formed the Crossblades Adventuring Guild.
Interesting. Graham will tell him this. Give a little history lesson.
Oh, wow. Crexon. Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, creepy fella. Elf dude. Kind of mean.
Well, our forebears got him, so I guess there's that.
Well, that's good. Yeah, he's a prick. You know what? He answered my riddles, but he was a real dick about it, too. Always like, try harder next time.
Man, that's just rude.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming up with riddles.
Oh, he did. They were actually pretty hard.
And that's why he's dead.
I think he did that more to mock me than anything.
Yeah, but now he's dead and he can't do anything about it.
Well, good. I'm glad. How did he get shanked?
Really?
Did they like stab him or like hit him over the head, or they like light him on fire or something?
Do the records tell of their battle?
The records tell that the records were written by the adventurers who killed him. So
Right there.
Graham knows that they have maybe a little bit more of a
Slightly tall tales.
yeah, but they describe how they had gone up to the north and engaged in a great battle with him. And despite him being an extremely powerful wizard, they were able to eventually kill him. The actual method of death is kind of glossed over, as it is described more as a team effort. And
They cut off his butt.
well, they don't mention that.
You can't live without a butt. Oh my god.
They do describe, though, that they were eventually able to defeat him and stop him from his attempts at conquest, and were able to lay waste to his dragon, and were able to acquire his vast fortune, which they then brought down back to Vaxfall, where they were eventually awarded the charter for the crossblades from the Duke, and beyond that were then able to get the deal where they would not have to pay taxes and didn't have to pay the overhead, just having to pay a cost, among another a bunch of other various benefits that applied more to this specific adventurers rather than the crossblades itself. Although the crossblades obviously were able to maintain an extreme level of fame up and for about 800 years up until this point where you're it on the continent.
Yeah.
Interesting little alignment of history there.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay. So I guess we can just tell him they set him on fire, they stabbed him, they said all sorts of stuff.
haha good. Well, I take a nap now. I'm gonna tell you with that magic on. I'm feeling a little feeling my age all of a sudden.
He just dies of old age before we can get back up.
I hope not.
I got a little bit of time left kicking, maybe at least a good 30, 40 years, but
And here's open.
nothing for
You get some rest, and we'll talk about getting you out of here. Seem like a cool dude.
I take a little nap now. Yeah.
All right. Minotaur
Is it
time.
like 6 p.m. out or?
Yeah. Graham will give an estimate of the time based on when we went in.
It's probably more like 2 p.m.
It was about 2.
Feels later in the evening.
Senior citizens things.
Do you have a blanket?
Yeah, actually. Graham will give him one of those fur blankets that we have.
Oh, thank you, Sonny. You're very kind.
No problem.
He says, "Thank you, young man."
He just kind of like
Kid
starts.
takes out a Werther's original.
He just kind of like, as the blanket goes on him, he just kind of like starts snoozing. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The door. He just waves his paw, and the door slides open.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. He just starts snoring.
Kind of cute. All right, let us continue.
As you enter in, you find yourself in
Room with a Minotaur, probably.
The Thunderdome.
You climb up the stairs past the Sphinx. Ooh, I'll bring in here and let me actually show the room you enter into. There we go. You're on the bottom there. You enter in as the door slides open, climb up the staircase, and you can see clearly carved along the ceiling in Old Arwellen. So Graham's the only one who can read it, but it says the maze.
If you did a map change, I don't see it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You're right. I do actually have to drag this over. There you go. It's all the way to the bottom.
Cool.
They put in the new way, and I'm still not used to it.
Things were easier back in the old days.
You might want to bring Aurora back here.
I was like, why is Aurora all the way there?
Yeah, there you go. I was like,
Dogaports.
that was more just me trying to get used to the new map, especially on this new computer.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I'm assuming I walk up here while clearly looking around. It's
Yep.
only one way in.
So you actually do see there are additional doors. So you see a large door that
Yep.
is
Middle.
open
The north
directly
one.
in front.
Mm-hmm.
You see two small doors to the side, to your left and to your right.
Of the main room.
Yep. So out of this main room,
Okay.
you can also very clearly see uh, it is a painting drawn on the ground, a large minotaur creature with some icons around it.
Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
It looks like an angry squid.
No, it's just that the Minotaur is a member of Hydra.
Great. All right. So I want to check the side rooms in case we don't get like ambushed by something from the sides. All right, we'll check the side room.
Well, there's
Yeah.
one to the left and one to the right. Which one would you like to go to?
Left. Let's check the left.
Okay.
Never do anything right.
All right. Drag your character to where you would like to place them.
Is the door up here more, or really directly to the left or east? Right.
There's like a door right here and a door right here.
Okay, let's go here.
And I think I've revealed this area, so you should see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, good. Looking through the door itself, well, currently all you can see is just this one little section. You can see there is a room and then a door on the other side that leads into another room. You can see a couple of cabinets with scrolls within it.
Okay.
We did get asked not to take anything, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I will go through this hallway with investigation for traps because mazes can probably have traps. Let me see. Are you?
23. All right. Looking around this room specifically, or before you enter it, you do not see anything indicating a trap. You don't see any tripwire, plates, anything of that nature.
Okay.
Graham will catalog what they see of the scrolls and stuff.
Yep. And there's no doors in it. There's a door, what, in the south?
Yeah. To the this would be to the east. Oh no, I'm sorry, west. This would be to the west.
Yeah, and in this hallway is there a door to the south?
Nope. As you
No,
enter the room a little bit more and look through, you can now clearly see that this is a crypt of some kind. A number of sarcophaguses have been placed in this room. The stone on them have been carved with shapes of minotaurs. Actually, give me a history check now that you've seen all these minotaurs.
Can I get the halfling nudge?
Nudge.
I love
That's
that.
better. Graham, history better.
Graham, you know that there was a period within Arwell's history that minotaurs were considered to be a symbol of the empire itself, specifically for a short family line of emperors. So this was probably built around the time period of those emperors.
All right.
So this is just like a crypt for minotaurs. So that's it. It's just this room. There's no other alternative doors to like a deeper crypt or anything.
You could take a look around with a further investigation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Investigating in further, you do not see additional crypt that leads further in. This is simply a small room that was meant more for well, you're not really sure who it was meant for specifically, but whoever has been entombed in these crypts, they simply have like it's just this one specific room you see, and then like a small little side room with currently you can just see like a single cabinet holding some scrolls.
Okay. Do these sarcophagi have or was it sarcophagi?
Sarcophagi, I think is it, yeah.
Do they have any writing on them in Old Arwellan that maybe Graham can read?
A lot of it has been etched off.
Okay. I assume it just might be name and dates. If there's nothing here and nothing of interest to us, let's check the other side.
Did you wish to check the scroll room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's check the scroll room.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you went the scroll room or the other room on the right.
Yeah,
Check them
I'm
out.
thinking ahead. I like my brain is thinking ahead. It's thinking from point A to C and skipping B.
All right. Uh, the scroll room itself, you can see even further scrolls. You do see the majority of the scrolls, because a lot of the shelves have been pulled apart. A lot of spaces are empty. You can see that there was the remnants of a fire that had been started in the corner. However, a large number of scrolls still remain. Only about probably a quarter, but that's still at least a couple hundred scrolls. You also see, just from your initial observation of the room itself, some bones, including a skull, as well as some embalming tools.
Okay.
Okay. Graham continues to catalog.
Um, is there like a list or anything of, you know?
If you would like to, you can make a investigation roll for this room.
Yes. Do you want to assist me, Mr. Graham?
Yeah.
Don't.
Can I halfway left the six?
I think you should be able to.
Okay. Oh, a little better.
Um,
You know what? I got two crits in a row for the Sphinx. I had to pay for it somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
take
fair.
those.
The You don't really find anything. These scrolls have been kind of haphazardly placed among this. It looks like there was a scramble of some sort to destroy as much information as possible. Obviously, they weren't able to get rid of everything. Looking through it is also sealed in little containers. A lot of it is in Old Arwellan handwritten, and whoever has written it down has a pretty poor penmanship, so the script is very difficult to read. Even Graham, with his knowledge of Old Arwellan writing and language, is basically looking at doctor scratches.
Yeah, I was about to have Graham refer to it as such.
That sucks. Well, maybe these researchers can figure it out later, you know?
One could hope.
From what you can
Okay.
tell, this does appear to be maybe some sort of a mortician's office,
Hmm. Interesting.
but just what you're able to determine from the glance over of what remains.
Um, let us see here. All right. Is if there's nothing else, check the other side.
Okay.
The west east side?
The West.
The west side?
Always to the west.
Let me get this.
Okay, so that is revealed.
All right. Now open the door, investigate.
Okay, make an investigation roll, please.
Graham assisting me so I can do
Yep.
an 8, 9, and 11.
Wow.
I'm assuming I'm getting a halfling look on this.
You
Jesus.
see nothing. It's fine. The room appears to be some sort of a room.
This room has corners in it, guys. I'm kind of scared.
To the best of Otto's knowledge, he has investigated as well as he has investigated previously.
um.
So, looking in the room, though,
It looks the same, kind of.
you see another sarcophagus. The room itself looks like, yep, as you step into the room, nothing happens. It seems pretty reasonably cleared out, though. You do see some rubble around. You do see there are two smaller rooms further to the east, one kind of in the middle and one to the south. Looks like there has been a minor cave-in and has caused some of the rubble to just fall from the ceiling, but not enough to really cause any real structural damage.
Okay. So I want to take a look into the first room in the middle on the right. Also, I'm noticing this is empty here. Does it look like these sarcophagi were just never put here or never got finished being filled up, or were they
Make
stolen?
a further investigation roll, please.
All right. Can I get assistance so I can do this
Yep.
again?
There you go.
Hooray.
All right. It looks like there were never any sarcophagus placed here. You don't see any scraping on the floor, indicative that there was something heavy placed there. It does appear that whatever was meant to go into this room was just never actually placed in.
Okay, so let's take a look at the middle room over here. Quite drag. You alcoholic. Okay.
There we go. Inside, it looks like this is a storeroom. You see a number of crates and containers, as well as some statues of Minotaur.
Okay. Go take a look around for Graham's cataloging.
Okay.
Eat.
I'm assuming you were also assisting because it's getting funny.
Looking through this room,
Wow.
You know what? Maybe Fern should start investigating.
doesn't appear to be much. It looks like a lot of the crates have been emptied out. You do see what remains is a number of surgical tools, things for cutting flesh, like what would be close to a small knife, as well as scissors, a small metal hook. You see a number of different items, well as an item you're not strictly familiar with. You'd have to look over it further to really get a good idea of what its purpose is.
Let me investigate that item further.
That would be a medicine check to determine its identity.
Okay. I guess that's better.
This looks like something maybe used for breaking and spreading ribs.
Ah.
And okay, so your notes are doing pretty good now, I guess. Okay. Any other interesting looking items around here?
Not in this room, from what you can tell.
Okay, let's check the other room.
Okay. The last room you see does appear to contain another sarcophagus of the same Minotaur design on the actual top itself, as well as it's a case and actually what appears to be a number of glass, not vials. These would be larger, similar in size and shape to a bottle that you might have at your bar, with a number of you see corks and wax along the actual surface, keeping whatever liquid is within these contained.
Is this kind of recognizable liquid in any capacity? I know it's been here a while. Can I see it?
This would be. You can see through the jars themselves. The jars are either green or brown.
Mm-hmm. Does this look like something
Make
Kaido would
a
drink?
Yeah, I mean it does, but make a history check.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham, just looking at the jars, the rooms it's in, everything about this, you would highly suspect this is, and you're actually almost certain that this is an embalming fluid.
Okay. Graham will relay that, write it down, etc.
If Kaido would drink it or not, you're not
Yes,
entirely
yeah,
sure.
I was gonna say, so I'll look at Graham and say, so you're saying Kaido would drink this?
I mean, I wouldn't bet against that in most circumstances.
Okay. Test on Kaido. Put that in the notes.
We love you, buddy.
Is there anything on the sarcophagus in this room written that maybe could be readable?
There actually is. There
Right.
is some writing, as it looks like the sarcophagus has sort of been pushed aside and was maybe meant to be placed into the larger chamber.
Okay.
The information on it is in Old Orwellan.
Yeah.
Looks expectantly at Graham.
Graham will look with his special eyes.
Graham, looking over this, you can see that it does indicate the person residing in here was listed as a assistant lab researcher. It gives dates indicating that the person would have died about 1100. The year 1100 CF, after the city of Arwell was founded. The name itself is. Give me a history roll, please.
Okay. I'm going to assume it's not our brain in the jar friend who thought he was that feller.
No, no. This actually, the name is actually a imperial house of a cadet branch. You would suspect this person is distantly related to to an Arwellan emperor.
Interesting.
Graham will write that down. Explains the Minotaurs. That kind of date marks it to that one dynasty, I think.
Yep. The dynasty specifically would be the dynasty of Kahar.
Okay, Graham writes that down as well. Gotta show those nerds that the field team is important too.
And I will put this in. There you go. That would be the family.
Kahar.
Kahar.
Ah.
Kaha. Okay. Anything further, like any stuff under the debris or that could be cleared away from the collapse?
If you'd like, you can make it athletics to try and kind of brush aside this like heavy stone.
I shall help him.
I will do that with advantage. Nice.
All right. Yeah, you and Otto working together, you're able to like brush aside, like pick up some stone, brush it aside. You're actually able to find underneath the stone a number of objects that had been buried. Majority of the objects are related to medicine, surgery, and similar to what you found in the storm. However, you do find an actual like little metal plate that had kind of looks dissimilar to what you had previously found in the actual like storeroom itself. It does not appear to have a purpose related to medicine. It's basically, from what you can tell, a small piece of brass. It's a small circle with a larger circle around it that is kind of held in place by kind of four small little arms from the centerpiece, holding it all together. It appears to be. Your mind initially says maybe jewelry or some sort of decoration, but you're not really sure from just looking at it.
It's that thing from Manus or whatever. The gold immortality beetle.
From Kronos.
From Kronos, not Manus. Yeah. That's very different.
Although that would be a cool thing to see, but
Graham once again records what he can before we continue on.
All right. But yes, the up the staircase in the center room, there is a door that is slightly ajar.
Okay.
Let's check it all out.
All right.
Check it.
As you open it up and look through, you can see that there is a hallway. It separates, goes from one to the left and one to the right, and appears to go up one way to the north on both sides.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But yes, you strongly suspect that you have just entered into the maze proper.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of magical means to counter us, but if it's all just regular mundane physicality, hug one wall and we'll get through.
This is true. Let's go west, I guess.
Okay. Just move your character, and as you move it, I will. All right. You can see further in.
Okay. It loops around. I'll obviously look around each corner before turning.
Okay. So you look there.
I'll look around and then
check those corners.
Okay.
There's some corners, kid.
All right. Otto, can you give me a dex save, please, as you step there?
I had a feeling.
And I gotta pull up my notes on this one.
Plus 5.
It's 21. Okay.
Yep.
Here we are, traps. Yep. Okay. As you step onto that plate, a flame of jet sputters out. You're quick on the draw, however, you're able to duck, and you just get singed a bit. So you're going to take only half.
700 damage.
You're taking 8 fire damage.
Okay.
Wispy.
Okay. Ooh. Thanks, Aura. So I guess I can look up.
Yep.
North. It's like, hey, there's traps. I forgot about that thing.
As you look up, you do see that there is a path almost immediately to the left, and then further up there's a path further to the left and then to the right.
All right, I'll look to the left. Obviously looking for traps now more.
Okay. As you look there, you can see a small, it would be a brazier with a lit flame within it.
Is there anything special about it? This is where we spent 3 hours on the brazier.
You have to negotiate with it.
Was that in Dark Heresy with that one?
I don't even remember. There's so many weird things in Dark
The embrasure of the very nice brazier. Under attack.
If you'd like, you could investigate the brazier further.
Sure, I'll do it quick. No, I don't want to intimidate it.
Doesn't appear to be interesting in any way, shape, or form beyond a standard brazier. It has what looks to be actually the wood that's burning inside actually does appear to be somewhat similar to the wood you had found in the Underdark that had made up the majority of structures within the slave quarter. Within the slave district. So it's that kind of like quick growing wood. Gives light, gives heat. That's why like the maze itself has a kind of a dim light. Although as you're next to the brazier itself, it's bright light. But
yeah, okay. Write that in your notebook, Graham. Okay. I guess we go up to the intersection, investigate for shenanigans.
Okay. Yep. If you'd like, you can do perception or investigation.
No, do investigation.
Okay.
I don't know.
Looks fine. You don't see anything.
I'll look around. I'll peek around the corner and look both ways first.
Okay. You see both end up having paths going to the south.
We'll follow Graham's look left. Keep to the left. Okay.
Okay. As you look to the left, you can see that it enters into a slightly larger room.
Okay. I lived.
Okay. And I will peek around the corner and then I guess investigate again before I.
Okay. Give me another investigation. You don't see any traps entering into the room itself.
I will. Okay. What do I see from here?
Looking through, you can see some. Looks like cups, plates, forks, knives, kind of just left on the ground.
And this is as far as I can see, right? But with the investigation.
Yep. You can look into from where you're standing. You can kind of peek in and take a look around to see the full room.
Okay. Let's do that.
Looking in, this appears to be a small living quarter. However, to the very north, you can see a Minotaur head, like basically be a Minotaur bust, as well as looks like some offerings, leavings. You're not really sure. There's some furniture in there, more scrolls. Probably only like you count 8 scrolls remaining, as well as a small writing desk. You're not really sure what the purpose of this room was beyond somebody had obviously lived in here at some point, and for what its purpose was, you cannot say.
Okay. It's just a living quarter. Okay.
So the Minotaur doesn't keep a permanent nest.
No. Do you want to investigate this for your writing down and investigation, Graham?
Yeah.
It's migratory, Grant.
I will roll with advantage, question mark?
Yes.
Like some sort of maze dwelling.
We're paying the price now, Matt.
Looking in here, investigating this room around, you can see that there actually was at one point a trap further to the north, but it has been long disabled. You also looking around, you can notice that some of the utensils appear to be more recently used, as it appears to have some sort of food scraps on it.
Interesting. Graham writes that down.
What kind of food scraps can we tell?
Make a... Yeah, I'd actually say you could probably determine this appears to be some sort of meat. Although you see some... Actually, make a nature check to try and determine the specifics of it.
I'm just going to stare at Fern.
Yeah, we all just look at Fern. It's not my day to be competent. You be competent.
Tell us the nature of this creature, Fern.
Fern can see that there's bits of bone, gristle, blood, fur. She suspects that this was probably a rat that had been devoured, but she also does see some like exoskeleton indicative of beetles or possibly scarabs. Looks like a very heavy meat diet, or at least protein. Does not appear to have been cooked, really. Looks like it was just kind of messily devoured off of this plate.
All right.
Raw beetles and rats.
Wow.
Maybe this is where the Minotaur eats.
Yes.
Probably could be.
Oh man, we're gonna be a feast for this dingleberry.
Not if we can help it.
Well, that's what he's thinking.
Narrator, they could not.
Okay. I guess.
Well, let's I mean, we have to assume that there might be hostilities, but let's not try to be the ones to start it if we do happen to run into the Minotaur. It could be like the Sphinx and just kind of stuck here.
So if we're done with this room, I take it, right?
You'd have to like go this way, I think.
Yeah, we're going this way then.
Okay.
Obviously I'll peek around every time.
Kind of loops around. Okay, give me an investigation roll.
I'm assuming Graham's just gonna help me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't see any traps here currently.
All right, and then I'll peek around here.
You can see that it kind of goes up north, twisting to the left, as well as a path to the right.
Okay. What looks? Let me peek around to the right.
Okay. Looking around to the right, you see that the path curves south and then back to the east.
Okay. Let's peek around to the north path.
The north path kind of heads more to the west and then up to the north again.
Does this hallway looking suspicious?
The hallway does in fact have a small pressure plate right in the middle.
Like
You
Biffo.
would see it like right here.
Biffo, I don't want to catch on fire again.
I can sort out a pressure plate if you wish. To me, pressure plate. Whisper in my ear.
Starts hitting on it. Little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Fiffle is very easily able to kind of pop the plate open, get his thieves' tools underneath, and clip the... Actually, in this case, it would actually just be a small little kind of metal bar, and Fiffle's able to just easily, like, turn it to the off to the side, and then the plate is able to depress and not press that, like, bar down. The trap that would be set off by that is deactivated.
Nice. Write that down.
Okay.
Write that down.
Write that down. Trap here. Bum bum bum.
I hate to say it, but this is going well. Normally, this doesn't happen for us. We're being distressingly competent. and it gives me anxiety.
Do you know what that that is? This is an early April Fool's.
No, it's the
Let's
start of the next Halloween episode.
okay, I'll go here and I'll peek to the north.
All right. The path snakes around back to the east.
Okay. Can I see any further than that?
You'd have to step a little further in.
Okay.
This path is forming an almost serpentine pattern as it goes further to the north.
And apparently I've gotten rid of my character sheet somehow. Okay, that was magic. I'll investigate here.
Okay. You do not see anything.
Okay. Onward to here, I guess.
From here, you can see that the path heads, and there's actually two sections. There's two paths that both head north.
Okay. And I'm assuming this place looks normal. Wow.
Yep.
All right, so I will go to the far. Yeah, let me look north here. The first one.
The path curves a little bit back to the east, and then further north.
Okay, and the second one
is a dead end.
Okay. Are we sure it's a dead end? Let's investigate this dead end.
Graham will investigate.
I'm trying to hit the button, but nothing happened. Here, you can investigate then. You
okay?
Add this too.
24.
All right.
324 in a row.
Well, Graham, sticking with the puns, it is quite literally a dead end, as what looked to be simply a pile of dirt, you can see that there is, in fact, a skeleton. Looking at the skeleton, it is clear that it has suffered some measure of violence, as the ribs have been kind of pulled open and broken, and you can see very clear indications of teeth marks along the actual bones themselves.
Ah.
Do they look like... Admittedly, I might have some meta-knowledge that Graham doesn't, but do they look like the flat teeth of a bovid versus like sharp teeth of a normal animal predator?
They do appear to
Which
be
kind
the
does a
flat...
minotaur have?
Yeah. They appear bovine in nature.
My God.
Yeah.
My God, it's bovine.
I mean, I don't think this would be considered meta-knowledge, considering you were told there was a minotaur in this.
Yeah, I just don't know if Graham would know the ins and outs of dental forensics. But I digress.
Okay, so let's go to the second one. And let's peek around here.
The path continues, and you can see that it kind of goes two separate paths, one heading to the north and one heading to the west.
We'll go north. And I guess I'll check for trappies.
Okay, don't see anything there.
Okay, and what do I see this way?
Okay, yeah, so you see the path to the north and then the path to the west.
Okay, and then what do I see from here? Dead end?
Looking up directly, you can see that it continues forward. There's actually a door as well as a path leading to the north with a curve that would be heading to the east.
All right, let's investigate this little area first. I'm paranoid. I think I'm good here.
You do not see anything.
Let me look around the path to the east just to make sure.
It looks like it continues forward. It goes east, north, and then back east.
Okay. Door, I guess. Is the door... Would this also include the door investigation?
Yeah. You don't really notice anything on the door. The door does not actually appear to be locked. Looking at the door, you can see that where once there was a handle, has been broken off. The door appears to be in rough condition, very finely crafted door of stone on a well greased and weighted hinge. It has suffered damage over the years from repeated heavy use. Whatever has opened this door has not treated it in good condition.
Can I still open the door?
Yes, you can.
I will open the door. Dramatically. Not really, but...
As you push open the door, a number of large rats kind of swarm out. These rats are about the size of a small cat,
Okay.
and they just kind of just squeaking, and they like flood past your feet. Inside, you can see that there are a number of dead rats. Bones, blood. This looks like some sort of a holding pen.
Guys, I think I disrupted someone's dinner and I'm going to be in trouble.
Probably just like the rats were eating some other rats. That's kind of
Yeah.
how rats do.
Yeah. The food holding pen and the food eats the food. Mm, I assume there's nothing of value in here then.
Could
Or
take a look
noticing.
around if you'd like.
I
Yeah.
find rats.
Investigate.
Yeah, that was just.
And if I'm doing it with advantage, 23.
You don't see anything that you would find particularly interesting, although you do notice some of the rat carcasses have apparently been bitten into. Large mouth has been into the back, tearing out the entire back section, leaving skeletons, missing spines, or rats that obviously have been just kind of torn into.
How big is this mouth?
Bigger than a human mouth, you'd put it. Probably larger than a horse, probably about the size of a bull's mouth.
What are the odds? Um, okay.
He's going to be.
Graham is going to get some rations out and ready in case maybe we could bribe it with food.
He is not going to be a happy camper. Okay. I guess let's follow it north.
As you begin to head north, you can hear the kind of squeaking of the rats in the distance, and then you hear a loud shriek, and like the squeak that gets like louder and louder, and then just immediately is like cut off, and you hear a large bellowing sound of anger and rage. And we're going to end it here and pick it up next week.
Hooray!